Every one of you who played Company of Heroes since a long time knows this intro. It's the trailer of 2006 when Company of Heroes 1 released. Everyone who plays since this time always remember things like the Tiger Ace or Calliopes that cost ammunition, Calliopes which could shoot with their turrets. Yes, what we want to talk about today is what happened after this. This trailer almost changed everything in the Company of Heroes history. The release of two other armies, the British forces and the Panzer Elite. The meta changed. Everything changed. And balancing game. Everything changed with these two new armies, which were weak and overpowered at the same time. This was the end of Vanilla Company of Heroes 1. It was a good time and a bad time. And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about the Panzerkampfwagen 4 and why it's not up to date, why pros don't use it anymore, and why a lot of people don't know this tank. This is the Panzer Elite Panzerkampfwagen 4, named P4. It's a light infantry support tank of the Panzer Elite of the opposite front's armies. What was the reason Relict made this tank? This tank was made to counter the massive blobs of the British forces, and also it was a very good tank at the beginning against US forces because its armor was very thick and it made a lot of damage. It had the options to upgrade a machine gun on the turret and Panzerschürzen to get a better armor against sticky bombs. It also had the function of rapid fire to fire faster rounds. It was very, very strong against infantry and light vehicles like a Stuart or an M8, because the Stuart and the M8 can't penetrate the armor of the P4. So the question is, why the people don't use it anymore? Because it's such a good unit in the game. So we need to look back to the history of the Panzerkampfwagen 4 unit in Company of Heroes. Panzerkampfwagen 4 unit in a classic unupgraded version made of the tier 4. You can upgrade a MG42 machine gunner, which is good against infantry. Now the tank have a bony +3 infantry, and you can upgrade armor skirts, which are called Panzerschürzen, and gives the tank a bony against sticky bombs. This is a full upgraded Panzerkampfwagen IV, which is very strong against infantry, especially if you use it rapid fire. The tank can't move, but the barrel shoots very fast. It's very effective against plop and a lot of infantry. It's such a good anti-infantry counter and countering for light vehicles, because the light vehicles can't penetrate the armor of the tank. I called that the Panzer IV is so effective, so now we need to know why people don't play it anymore. And there's only one reason. I will show you a short video and maybe you're understanding why no one is playing anymore the Panzerkampfwagen IV. Yes, the next big change in the history of Company of Heroes was released. Company of Heroes Tales of Waylore. Why it makes such a big difference. There wasn't the campaign you could play which changed. There wasn't any other changes. The biggest change was the TOV units which were released. You have several units that changed the game a lot of. By the British forces, you could use the staghounds and the kangaroos. And if we are remembering on the patch 2.301, everyone knows who played Axis how overpowered the kangaroo and the staghound was. The staghound is still overpowered, but this kangaroo was so cheap, so good. And it was just a game changer. It was an unbeatable unit, which really needs to get patched. But we also had some less units, which the most people didn't use, like the Panzer Elite Schwimmwagen. The Schwimmwagen has good abilities to use, but it also is more weak than the Kettenkrad. But first, before we are looking at why the P4 isn't played anymore, we just take a short look what it takes to get a Panzerkampfwagen 4 as Panzer Elite player. First, we need to take a look what it takes to get a Panzerkampfwagen 4. First of all, we need to build a Panzer Grenadier squad. We have two options for the Panzerkampfwagen 4 upgrade. We have to build a logistic company or the Kampfgruppen company. Most of the time the people used to play the logistic company to get the Panzerkampfwagen 4. It cost 220 manpower and 20 fuel. And I show you the reason why the people play the logistic company. The logistic company used to get some fast P4s because of the scout car. The scout car costs 220 manpower, and I will show you why the people play the scout car to get a Panzerkampfwagen 4. The scout car can upgrade it to the logistic upgrade for 25 manpower, At the beginning, you got the ammunition of 50, so you can easily upgrade instantly the upgrade for the logistic. If you upgrade it to logistic cars, you have the option to secure sectors. Securing sectors brings you a bonus to the fuel sector. You can see +5 fuel income per minute, and if we secure the sector, we get +8. That's why a lot of people use the logistic company and the scout car to get a P4. If you reach enough resources, 220 manpower and 30 to play the Panzer support command,
Let's get a Panzer support command up and moving. The build is complete, sir.
you can play the Panzer command. And after it, you need to make the support command upgrade.
The enemy will never be able to match the efficiency of our support command structure.
What is this? This isn't a P4. And here we have the reason why pro players don't play the P4 anymore. The Hotchkiss light tank. It have different options, walking Stuka and long barrel cannon. It shoots armor piercing rounds. And this little tank is the reason why people don't play it anymore, the P4. It costs less, 15 fuel less than the P4. And it has the ability to shoot Stuka rockets. And the Stuka rockets are very important. Why? The Panzer Elite only have the Scorched Earth doctrine, which allows the Panzer Elite to have artillery support. If you took the Luftwaffen doctrine or the Tank Destroyer doctrine, you are not able to get some artillery. And especially if you're playing against British forces, artillery could be very important against British emplacements. So the people replace the P4 with the Hotchkiss to get the Stuka barrage. That's the reason why the most people don't play the P4 anymore. So now we are at the end of the video. Now we will do the short feedback. What should we play, P4 or the Hotchkiss? It really depends on which game mode you are playing. I think in 1 vs 1 the Hotchkiss is the better option because it's cheaper, it has more abilities like the Stukas, especially against Brits, and it's better against tanks. Yes, the armor is weak, it's not as strong as the P4, but at the end, the abilities of the Hotchkiss make it very good for 1 vs 1 play. In the 2 vs 2 we are talking about massive infantry, plobs, and so on. You also have a mate which could build artillery as Wehrmacht or a second Panzer Elite player, which can actually play Scorched Earth doctrine. You should use the P4. The P4 can be very good in 2 vs 2 as anti-infantry counter. It's very strong against infantry and it's perfectly done for the 2 vs 2. So, at the end, why pros don't play it? Yes, pros don't play it. The reason is you have more abilities with the Hotchkiss. The main fact is the artillery ability of the Hotchkiss, why pros don't play the P4 anymore. The P4 is the better anti-inf Panzer, but as Panzer Elite you have a lot of other options to get better anti-infantry, which is cheaper, like the armored car or infantry with a lot of upgrades like STG or G33 upgrades. So that's why the pros don't play it anymore, because there's no need for this tank, and the ability of the Hotchkiss for artillery is much more important in the game today, like in these days where it was released. At the end, a short feedback. Make your own decision. I just can say play it in 2 versus 2 and in 1 versus 1 replace it by the Hotchkiss. That's my feedback. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice day. If you enjoy it, press on the button, subscribe, like, playlist, and follow us for more content of Company of Heroes. Bye guys, have a nice day.